So I want to talk about our keys to victory in our upcoming game versus the New England Patriots. So let's go ahead and get right into this. Now, listen, we're going to go into this game with potentially no Jamar Chase. Right now it's up in the air. We're going to go into this game with some players injured. Miles Murphy's not going to be in this. McKinley Jackson's not going to be on this. It's going to be us. And I feel like it's going to be a healthier us than a lot of, other seasons how we started. But it's still going to be a kind of, not 100% team. I know this is going to be weird to say, but I feel like this is how we win this game. And I don't think we should do anything else. Okay? We should not treat this game like we're going in to blow them out. And listen, it's very possible we could go in this game and win 49-0. Very possible we could win 56-7. Right? It's very possible we could blow them out and destroy them. But ironically enough, I would say going into this game, the mentality I would go with is number one, let's establish the run game. Let's get the run game going. Get Zach Moss some carries. Hasn't had any carries as a Bengal yet, even because he didn't play in the preseason. So I'd say get this run game going, right? Run the ball effectively. Move the ball down the field. Score, obviously, take advantage of all the situations that are given to us. But if we win this game 17-3, that's perfectly okay. If we win 14-3. That's perfectly okay. I'm not going into this game thinking that we need to score 40 points. And hear me out. The reason why is because I want to leave this game with little to no injuries. Okay? We're not putting everything on the line for a game versus the Patriots in week 1. Because guess what? Week 2, we have to play the Queefs. And I don't want to go banged up into the Queefs game, number 1. I don't want to go cocky into the Queefs game, number 2. I want to go into the Queefs game thinking, okay, we're confident because we won. We established a lot of things I think we needed to work on. And we feel good while not having any injuries. Because the worst thing we can do, because I think we're going to win no matter what this Patriots game. I think that's guaranteed. The problem is, if you leave this Patriots game with injuries, you're going to set yourself back 100 times versus the Chiefs in week 2. And you need to win that game in week 2. Week 2 and week 5. Most important games to start off this season. Week 5, by the way, is Baltimore. These are the most important games. And you got to remember that this is a gauntlet. This is not, what's that mentality? This is a mile or marathon. This is not a sprint, okay? We're not going all in on week 1. We have an easier week 1, thankfully. We're going to use it to our advantage, and we're going to be able to successfully, show what we need to show. And again, I'm not saying we go out there and we don't play crazy, we don't play good. I'm just saying I don't think we should go all out week 1, especially with week 2 being the game, okay? So how I would say is starting off the game on offense, again, like I said, we need to establish the run game. If we can run the ball down their throats, especially because they're a weaker team, we can run the ball down their throats and just control time possession, control the clock. Really, we don't need a Joe Burrow 400-yard game. I would like to him for at least to hit around 200 to 250 yards. I think that's a realistic asking, even if we don't go crazy in this game. But I want to just kind of, again, get in the rhythm. Like, okay, we're going to run this play, this play, this play. We don't need to take a 60-yard pass down the field. Now, if the game is getting close, right, and things are going back and forth, and things are kind of getting a little heated, then yeah, maybe you take a 60-yard pass down the field to open up the defense. But if we're just crushing their defense, right, crushing their team, there's no point to throw 70 yards down the field to T. Higgins in double coverage and try to make a play when reality-wise, we're fine without it. I just will say for this first game, I won't say precautionary, but I think we should take this first game as a blessing and just kind of cruise and learn about ourselves rather than trying to make a statement. Because I feel like, especially when you start off the year versus a team like New England, right? They're a young team. They're a young team developing. Brand new head coach. They're going to start Jacoby Brissett, but, brand new offense, brand new, two-way system, but a brand new everything. The easy thing to do as a very good team like ourselves is to go in there and try to humiliate them. And listen, we can do that week 2 versus the Chiefs. I'm perfectly fine with that. That's when you all guns are blazing, okay? Week 2, week 5. But for week 1, you don't need to do that, okay? Now, I'm not saying you don't send exotic blitzes. On defense, you can go all out. On defense, you can, send the house and the kitchen sink. Okay, I don't care about defense. But offensively, the point of this game, number 1, is to leave with as little injuries as possible. Number 2 is to leave with as little wear and tear as possible. Now, football is a competitive, physical sport. Okay, leaving any game without any wear and tear is impossible. But there are situations where you can kind of make it easier for yourself. Again, controlling time of possession, controlling the game, kind of making this game not end up being a slugfest and more just okay, let's go out there and play smart. Because the problem is, right, say we don't establish the run game. And we just come out and we're like, you know what? We're going to absolutely, crush them. First off, you end up finding yourself in a trap game. And when you find yourself in a trap game, you don't end up winning those trap games usually in situations like this. You got to be very careful there, number 1. Number 2, you end up having injuries. You end up having problems. And then number 3, you end up, making this a close game. It's ironic, but coming out and throwing the ball, let's say you throw the ball 15 plays. 15 plays are scripted, right? You come out and throw the ball 15 plays. Let's say if our struggles last year on offense, where we would sometimes get stopped, or we would, actually not sometimes. There was games, that Seahawks game, where we would go 3 and out every single drive. If you don't establish the run, and you come out there and you just try to throw the ball over and over and over again, what's going to happen is their guys, they're also football players. You got to keep that in mind. They're going to potentially get the better up on us on 1 or 2 plays. You come out and throw the ball 3 plays, let's say on the 3rd play, knock on wood, it doesn't happen, but the ball gets tipped off someone's shoulder and it gets pick sixed. Now you're playing from behind. Now it's 7-0. Now you try to do too much because you're trying to get the ball, you're trying to score real quickly because, you're behind now. These are all situations that we have dealt with before. Let's not do this, okay? There's a reason why they say the pass game opens up when you run the ball. A good run game opens up the pass game. Start this game off and just run the football. Maybe some end arounds, not trick plays. Zach Taylor has lost the privilege of trick plays. But some end arounds, some misdirections, right? Just let's start this off on the ground. And if it's working, keep doing it. Get Chase Brown involved. Get Zach Moss involved. We have 2 really good running backs for a reason. And we already know going into the second game, week 2, we're probably not going to be able to run the ball too much against the Chiefs. They have a very good defensive line. They have a very good defense. And they have a great defense coordinator. And we already know in that week 2 game, you play Patrick Mahomes, you're probably going to have a high-scoring back-and-forth game. Usually, it's like a 17-10, 17-13, back and forth before halftime with the Bengals and the Chiefs. So, you already know that, right? So, get this first game going. Maybe try out some new things in this game. And what I mean by that is, you have that play that you would think about running in preseason, but you didn't want to do it. Let's see if it works out in regular season, right? There is ways to lose this game. And we can't afford to do that. So, come out of this game smart. Come out of this game just kind of looking at your team and saying, we feel like a complete unit. Now, on defense, again, I'm okay with us going, blitz heavy, setting pressure at, their quarterback, making Jacoby Brissett feel kind of rushed every single play. That's great, okay? Let Lou eat, okay? Let Lou eat in this game, and just let's play smart overall-wise. That's kind of my keys to victory for this game. I know it's not as detailed as other analysts. I don't call myself an analyst, but other Bengals stuff where it's okay, number one, do this. No, I am not looking too much into this game when it comes to us going crazy. I don't think we need to go crazy in this game. This is a very winnable game without doing crazy stuff. The way we win this game is when we are done this game and we have 0 injuries. That's how we win this game. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one.